Assalamualaikum and a very good day, Doctor. My name is Ima Tasha. With my groupmate Farah Danisha and Zirjing, we will present our proposal for the extensive reading program called the Monthly Fun Read. Firstly, we would like to talk about the size of the program. It is only focused on one class of 25 advanced Form 2 students and is aimed to be executed for at least one school year. We may extend this program to other classes from the same form if it is well received. The reason for this is because we don't want to feel overwhelmed by the amount of work that needs to be done when we are still new to it. Secondly, there are a few ways in which we have decided to acquire the books needed for the program. For starters, every student can donate their own books that they have read or even new books if they want to. We as teachers will also donate our own collection of old books. Other than this, we will write a letter to the head of English language department for extra funds to buy new books and ask to borrow some books from the library each month. Although the books borrowed from the library will not be tagged like the others. In terms of the budget, we will get students to collect 1 ringgit each to buy the rack to put the books in and chairs for the library corner. We will also add our own money as we see fit. The extra funds can also be used to buy even more books. To make sure this program is well liked by the students, we did a survey on what type of reading materials the students prefer. As a result, we found out that the majority of the students prefer to read fiction. The most popular genres in this category are adventure, fantasy, comedy, and fables. The most well-known authors by the students include Roald Dahl, Enid Blyton, Susan Collins, and J.K. Rowling. So we decided that the books which are bought and donated by us will include these types of titles. In order to catalog them, each book that has been donated or bought needs to be systemized in a virtual logbook that is kept by us, the teachers. The items that are noted in this logbook are, firstly, book number, title, genre, which will either be adventure, fantasy, comedy, fables, or a mixture of various, difficulty level, current borrower, and date of borrow. Some examples of the titles that will be included are Charlie and Chocolate Factory and Matilda by Roald Dahl, the Hunger Games series by Susan Collins, the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, the famous 5 books by Enid Blyton, and the Adventures of Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. A copy of this list, minus the current borrower and date of borrow part, is printed and placed near the library corner for students to use as a helpful guide to borrow books. Each book also needs to be tagged with a number according to the number in the logbook. Next, to organize the materials, we have decided to keep the books at a library corner in the classroom on a bookshelf or rack. The books will be rearranged at the start of each month by an appointed student according to their genre. This will make it easy for the students to find the books they would want to borrow in the future. We have also decided on a checkout system to help set a guideline for this program. There are 5 main items in this checkout system. Firstly, the number of books that students can borrow at one time is 1 book to make it easier for the teacher. Secondly, the length of times book can be borrowed is a maximum of 1 month. Thirdly, the number of times books can be renewed is 4 times per month in order to encourage students to read 1 book a week. Fourthly, the penalties for books which are returned late is for the students to write a 100-word excuse as to why it was returned late in their book diary. And lastly, the penalty for books which are lost is for the students to replace the lost book with a similar book. For example, a long novel for a long novel. Other than this, the students are allowed to borrow the books home with them. We as the teachers will write down the name of the person borrowing and the date in the virtual logbook. If the students have returned the book he has borrowed, we will simply erase his name from the logbook and he can renew with another book. Because we want to see the progress and get feedback from the students involved in this program, we have made a way for them to record their reading. Each student needs to have a book diary. This diary is their own empty book that can be decorated and personalized. This is because we don't want the recording of the books to be so formal and having every student use a school book to jot down their thoughts will feel like homework. However, there are things that we would want the students to have in their entry. The main things that students need to write after reading each book are the entry number, the name of the book, date of starting, date of finishing or stopping, do you like the book, why, who's your favorite character in the book, why, what's your favorite moment in the book, how did you feel while reading this book, and would you recommend this book to someone else? We want to make sure that the questions are neither too general nor too specific. This is because we want the students to express their thoughts on the book without feeling like they're being questioned in an exam. Additionally, at the end of each month, one class is dedicated to a sharing session. Everyone can share one entry from their diary of their favorite book they have read that month. Students are also encouraged to write, draw, or make something as tribute for their favorite book of the month. For example, write a letter to the characters in the diary. This is, however, not compulsory because we don't want the students to feel like this is a reading class. That is all from our group. Thank you so much, Doctor, and I hope you like our proposal.